Hello and welcome. My name is Patrick and this is the inaugural video of field testing. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I always have in my video bag or just in my pockets no matter what shoot I'm on, whether it be commercial, short film, documentary, or weddings. Now, while I won't say that I use all 5 of these items on every shoot that I have, but I've gotten a lot of use out of all of these items, and I think especially if you are just getting into filmmaking, that these are definitely items that you should look into adding to your kit because you'll get a lot of use out of them, and in the world of filmmaking and camera gear especially, they're not that expensive, which is really nice because a lot of this stuff can start adding up in cost really quickly. So the first thing I want to talk about may not seem big or exciting, but I've gotten a lot of use out of them and I use them in just about every aspect of filmmaking, whether I'm running camera or doing audio, and that is these little think tank red whips. Basically, they're just little bungee elastics. If you are familiar with bongo ties, the little like rubber bands with the wooden dowel on them basically. I stopped using bongo ties because I found that they wore out over time and they just had a tendency to snap randomly if you really used a lot of them. So I switched to using these guys because I can pick up a 12 pack for anywhere from $15 to $17. The price fluctuates a little bit online, but I use them everything from my power cables to my XLR audio cables, my camera chargers. Overall, they're just a really, really nice tool for organizing gear, loose cords on set, things like that. I get a lot of use out of these and they are really cheap. So definitely pick up a pack or 2, throw it in your camera bag. You would not regret it. So the second thing that I want to talk about is kind of similar to the first, and that would be these little colored rolls of gaff tape. Now you can pick these up online anywhere from $15 to $20 depending on the size of the rolls, what colors you want, how big you want them to be. I like these tiny ones because I can basically throw these in my pocket or any pocket of any camera bag and they don't take up a lot of space. I can't count the amount of times that I've been finished with a shoot, everybody's wrapping up, packing their gear up, and you just hear somebody go, "Hey, is this your battery or my battery?" Because I don't remember, and I also don't label my batteries, and we're all using similar cameras. I would say the biggest thing is just making sure that my gear is labeled, so at the end of the day, I'm going home with exactly the same amount of lavalier microphones, batteries, things like that that I showed up with. Okay, the third thing I want to talk about is a little bit different. This falls more into the realm of wedding or documentary filmmaking, especially if you are like me and you're used to trying to run a one-man band where I'm on camera, but I'm also expected to do audio, and that is this little guy. This is the Tascam DR10L. This is the most quote-unquote expensive piece of gear on my list. These guys come in at around $199. That is the recorder itself and a lapel microphone. Probably my favorite feature built into these guys is they have a dual recording setting that you can enable that will basically record a second audio track identical to your first one, but it will be dipped by 12 decibels. And what that means is basically if I have somebody who talks really, really loud or they get really loud, or there would be some noise that would cause my audio to clip and be unusable, I have a second track that I can cut to in post that is still usable. It's still in an appropriate volume for me to use. So these guys are really handy. If you'll notice, this one's labeled Lav 3 because I actually have 4 of these. And I swear by these things. They are awesome. So the next thing I want to talk about, I use every single time I hit record on any camera, whether it be one that I'm renting, one that I own, doesn't matter what I'm shooting, and that is this guy. This is an X-Rite color checker chart for video. So the biggest reason that I like using one of these is especially if I'm on a 2-camera shoot and you're working with like a Canon camera and a Panasonic camera, for example, they both have very different looks to them and they both have different color sciences. So what I can do with this is I can just get a standard shot of 5 or 10 seconds holding it next to my talent or just, putting it on a table or something like that. And in post, I can use the information from this color sheet to match those 2 cameras so I can get a neutral look between both of my cameras. This will also help save you if you are knee deep in a color grade and you're realizing that your skin tones are off and your sky tones look all weird and you're getting all this green coming through in your shadows. You can use this as a metric in your Lumetri scopes to kind of correct for it and get you back to a neutral look and then go from there. Last time I checked, these guys come in right around $150. Sometimes they have them on sale for $130, but I think that for overall build quality and the amount of time that I've had one of these guys, $150 is totally worth it. As far as gear that you should pick up if you're just getting into filmmaking. Especially, I would highly recommend it, because it's going to be something that you put in your bag and it's going to pretty much stick with you through any camera upgrade or anything that you're using. It's going to save you a lot of time in post and a lot of headache. So the last thing that I want to talk about, and this was actually given to me as a gift, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, is this guy. This is a small rig multi-tool. I don't know if that'll focus, but it's basically a multi-tool designed for camera operators. So especially if you have a rig or a cage, I would highly recommend picking up one of these. This is the first version. I think they have a couple more versions now that are newer, but it basically has all the tools that you need for a camera or a tripod, all just in one convenient little package. You've got all of the Allen keys on one side for assembling a rig, building up or taking down cameras. But you also have on the other side some of the more unique tools that you won't find in other multi-tools, like a hex star. So if you have a larger tripod that has a loose leg, you can actually use that to tighten down a lot of the pro end tripod legs. And my personal favorite is this flat tool on the end here that is just for quick release plates. But these guys will go anywhere from, last time I checked, they go for about $23 online. They make a couple different versions, so you might be able to get a more posh version with like a leather case and stuff like that. But I just prefer the plain brushed metal one. I actually don't think they make this version anymore. This was like the first version they made. But yeah, especially if you're looking for a gift, somebody who's getting into filmmaking or a photographer that you know, I would highly recommend getting them one of these, because it's not going to break the bank and it's going to be super useful. Well, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys learned something new, gained something from this. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Drop a like, subscribe. I aim to be uploading more videos in the very near future to get myself back into the creative swing of things with all the free time that I have lately. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day.